my lovelies, and welcome to my BookTube channel, The Sassy Library Fox. My name is V, and today we're going for a tag, and not just any tag, we're going for the DNF tag. And I was kindly tagged by Jay at my quarter-life crisis about, I think 2 years ago, in 2022 or so. I didn't do the tag until now because, well, a person who never DNF'd the book ever before is supposed to talk about their DNF habits. You see the problem there? So I suppose we'll just go for this and try to navigate the difficult waters of DNFing books, which I never do. So this is really hard. Thank you, Jay, for tagging me for this tag. This is going to be fun. And before I continue to babble, I will just say that the original tag was created by Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. I'm going to link them down below so that you can watch their original video as well. I'm also going to link to Jay's video so that you can check out her video as well. And, well, I guess let's just do this. This is going to be really challenging. Okay, so the first question is, do you DNF? Nope. Never ever have I DNF'd a book in my life. And believe me, I was so tempted to DNF some of the books I read. But I don't DNF books. I don't know why it is. I think I'm one of those people, I don't like open endings. And because I don't like open endings, I always need to finish the book I started to read because I want to know how it continues and how it ends. And yes, sometimes it takes me about a year and even longer to read a book because I'm just not in the mood for it. But I've never actually DNF'd one. So there's that. I don't DNF books. It's interesting that this is the first question because when you say no, wouldn't that defy the purpose of the entire tag? Anyway, let's not dwell on this. Let's not think about it. Let's just take a sip of my coffee. I don't know if you know this, but we're currently going through our 6th or so heat wave, and temperatures are like 24 degrees in the morning, and it's just so hot. So excuse me being dressed like this, but it's too hot to handle, literally. Okay, never mind. Let's head to question number 2. If you do DNF, does it count for your finished books for the month? If I would do DNF, I would set myself some sort of goal, like if I read the book about 50%, I would count it to the reading goal, because if you fought through half of a book, that should count. Since I don't DNF, well, I don't know how other people do this. I would love to hear how people that actually DNF books go about this. So if you are somebody who is able to DNF books, unlike me, you can tell me about it in the comments down below. I would love to hear your opinion on this. When does a book count as read? Okay, question number 3. Is there a difference between DNF and just putting the book down for a little bit? Yes, there is a difference, because that's actually what I'm doing. When I'm not feeling a book, I don't DNF it, I just put it aside until the mood hits me. And yes, sometimes that leads to the book being on my currently reading on Goodreads for months, a year. I think the longest book that's been there was almost 2 years. So I think, yes, there is a difference between DNFing a book and just putting it aside and reading it at a later time and part of your life when you feel more able to read it. Because if you DNF a book, you do it with the purpose of never picking it up again. If you put a book aside, you have the intention to continue reading eventually. I think that's the difference for me, personally. Not everyone might see it that way. but I do. Question number 4. What popular books have you DNF'd? None yet. I thought through a couple of books I actually wanted to DNF and felt like DNFing, but I still wanted to know how they end. You see the problem there? I'm not made for DNFing books. I just can't do that. It's impossible for me. I don't know why that is, but it is the way it is. Okay, let's see to the next one. Question number 5. What are some books you wish you DNF'd? Oh, that's a good one. Well, for one, I know a lot of people will pack or unpack their pitchforks now and come at me, but I personally honestly wish I would have never read The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger, because I know a lot of people love this book and it's dear to their heart and it's a classic and everything, but this book so didn't do anything for me. I read it, but I couldn't understand the hype and why everyone says it's a classic you have to read and why so many people love this book. I don't get it. I honestly don't. It definitely wasn't for me. So yes, if I would have been able to DNF that one, it would have saved me a lot of trouble. And well, the second book I actually considered DNFing but never did was Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. And it was just because the characters were acting so out of character in that second book. And they did so many stupid things, and there wasn't, I don't know, the entire plot was all over the place. It was, yeah, let's go to war, and no, let's not go to war. And then everything turns around, and I just couldn't understand the actions of the characters anymore. And yeah, that basically killed the book for me. I read it, I finished it, I wrote a very long review about it and I spoke about it on my channel here. Yeah, if you want to check it out, just go to Goodreads or to my blog. But this book definitely wasn't for me, and yeah, with that one, I wish I would DNF books. I honestly wish I would. Okay, never mind. Let's see to question number 6. And question number 6 is, have you ever re-attempted to read the DNF and was this successful for you? I think if I would be, let's say, prone to DNFing books, or if I would be able to do that, I definitely wouldn't pick up the book again, because if I didn't like it once, chances I won't like it the second time I pick it up are very high. I mean, there's a reason why I DNF a book in the first place, right? So I get why some people give books second chances, but I'm very, when I read a book, I set my mind on if I liked it or not. And for instance, I would never reread books I rated with 2 or just 3 stars. I rarely give 1-star reviews, so yeah. I would never reread a book or pick up a book again I considered to be 1 or 3 paws, because yeah, why pick up the book again if I know I didn't like it the first time around? And why spend good reading time, which I could put into a new book I don't know yet, and which I probably might love, into a book I know I didn't like the first time around? Yeah, I hope that made sense now, the way I explained it. Question number 7. What do you do with DNF books? Well, I never DNF books, but the ones I don't like, or the books I rated with a low rating, like 3 paws or 2 paws, I always give away. I give them into little free libraries or I donate them, so they always find another use, and as they say, one man's meat is another man's poison, or is it the other way around? One man's poison is another man's meat. I think it's like that. So if I didn't like a book or didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, that doesn't mean that another person wouldn't enjoy it. Yeah, I always try to get rid of the books I didn't enjoy that much, because I don't have that much room in my shelves, and I only keep the books I know I will reread. Okay. Question number 8. Do you choose more or less risky titles based on your DNF policy? Okay, so since my DNF policy is not to DNF books, yes, I'm not very risky in the choices of which books I read, because I only read books I know my friends like. If there is a hype about the book, I look up the reviews of my close friends and friends I trust, or whose bookish taste I trust, and then take it from there. And I usually don't read books that have less than 3.5 stars on Goodreads as an overall rating. So that helps to avoid books I might not like. So far, I've had a good run with this. I mean, yes, of course, there are sometimes books that only get 2 pulls or 3 pulls from me, but in general, I seem to pick good books, which I will enjoy. And after so many years of being a reader, reviewer, booktuber, Instagrammer and whatever, I just know my taste in books and which books I will enjoy and which books I probably won't. So yeah, I think if you know your own reading tastes, you can judge by reading other people's reviews if you like a book or not. Yeah. Okay, so that was the last question, and question number 9 is only tag 5 other booktubers, which I will do now. I'm going to tag booktubers that are still active on my channel and that throw comments at me every once in a while. So I'm going to tag Katja at Page Turners with Katja, Jam at The Creepy Geek. You changed your name again. Every time I tag you, you have a different name. Never mind. Ash at Books to Ashes, Chris at Chris Reviews, and Jolene at Bookworm Adventure Girl. I tag all of you to do this tag. I hope you didn't do it already. I'm very late to the party, so if you already did that tag, I'm sorry. If you're watching this video and never did this tag but want to do it, consider yourself tagged by me. And yeah, as always, I would like to hear your opinion on things. Let me know if you DNF books, if you just can't DNF books like I can't. If you like open endings, or if you don't. I think that might say a lot about if you are able to DNF a book or not. In my case, it does. And what are your DNF reading habits? I really would like to hear that from you. Write it down in the comments below and let's chat a little bit. Okay, so, well, I guess that's it. We're already at the ending of my video and there's nothing left to say except of take care, stay healthy and safe, and see you around the next time. Bye!